I don't like you leveling, and you don't like me. So this is how we're gonna skip the leveling process entirely by farming dungeons. First of all, we're gonna be level 50 at the launch of the phase, of course, so our choices are gonna be a little limited. This level bracket is a little dead. The only real thing you can do at this point is arena runs in BRD. That's fine though. Arena is very efficient XP, and by the time you hit level 51 or 52, you are definitely gonna be able to do the following bosses in BRD. Hell, I bet you can do it at 50 pretty reliably already. It's just not gonna be fast enough to be worth it for XP. Arena runs are gonna be the best one to do until level 52, and of course that kinda sucks because there is no new loot to speak of. Once you hit level 51 or 52, you're gonna be able to do the other bosses, including the Emperor, and that's the really good loot. There is a lot of new items out there. You got the super broken Iron Foe, they got a Wind Fury on it. Every weapon in SoD has a Wind Fury on it, of course. There is also the Hand of Justice, which also has a Wind Fury on it, and they made it better. So it's not gonna be best in slot, it is gonna be more best in slot. Best in slot air? Well, they put more attack power on Hands of Justice, so it's gonna be better. As a matter of fact, you can get like a Hand of Justice proc that procs a Wind Fury proc that procs an Iron Foe proc, so you can get like a quadruple hit in a row. It is hilarious. It's like 1 in a million chance, but I bet whoever got it is pretty cool. There is a lot of melee loot in BRD actually. There is some caster loot too. There's a good staff, for example, but there's also the Dreadforce Retaliator, which is my favorite item in vanilla. Would you believe that? I got serious issues. But once you hit level 52, you can actually move on to the lava runs. Lava runs are killing Incendios and Magmus, of course, and then finally the Emperor. Now, there is a lot of skipping in this run that you gotta learn. It is not very hard, but you can do like a couple skips. But Incendios and the Emperor are probably the ones you wanna farm the most. The Emperor has the good loot, and Incendios, most importantly, drops fire resistance gear. Now, you need fire resistance gear in Morten Core if you can get your hands on it, and I bet you it's gonna be updated. I couldn't find any data mine for an updated version of it, but you might as well get it over now so you can go to Molten Core a little safer. Sadly, after level 52, the leveling in BRD is gonna slow down dramatically, and there is not a lot of good solutions for it. One thing you should remember is to pick up all the quests. I will not include the annoying chain quests. I will try to focus on the ones that are easy to get and they are worth your time. You can pick up 3 quests in this location. In the Burning Steps right here, the Horde can pick up some additional ones in Kargat, and the Alliance can get 1 more quest in this location, also in the Burning Steps. There is also another one at the starting inn in Dun Morrow, believe it or not. Also, even if you do not plan to level in dungeons, there is 2 important steps you gotta remember. There is this quest, the Dragon King Menace. You can get it in the Burning Steps for the Alliance. You gotta get this quest to get the Onyxia attunement. So if you're gonna do BRD, you might as well get that chain quest over right away so you can do that and get the attunement done. Meanwhile, for both Horde and Alliance, even if you are done with BRD, you still gotta go 1 more time at level 55 so you can get your Molten Core attunement anyway, so it's not a big deal. You just pick it up from the dead guy that is like homeless on the entrance of BRD, that guy that is loitering on the entrance of like BRD in the mountain. You talk to that guy, he gives you a quest, you right click a rock and you're done. One piece of advice I can give you guys is that once you hit level 53, I would say the 54 to 55 levels, I would just not do them in a dungeon entirely. I would just try to quest or whatever. Honestly, whatever stupid PvP event they made for this season, I bet you it's gonna be the most broken way to get XP because they launch something that doesn't work every freaking phase, and this will not be an exception. You wanna get quick XP, you probably wanna do that. But if you can hit 54, I am pretty confident you can do at the very least the first half of Blackrock Spire. Now, lower Blackrock Spire is very important. You are basically gonna live on this place the first like week because you gotta find the stupid key for Ubers and the drop rates are like nothing, and you gotta get 3 different items and you gotta fight over 5 people to get it. Now, granted, if you're in a good guild, you can have like the one guy designated to get every fragment, so that guy can get the key for everybody. But if you're a normal guy pogging it, you're screwed. You gotta do this place a lot. Lower Blackrock Spire mobs are fairly weak actually, and the start of the dungeon is only like level 55 orcs, so even if you cannot clear it to the end, you can get you can get the first 2 bosses easily for the fragments, and you can get a lot of XP here. And granted, the last boss in LBRS is level 60, but come on guys, we got like so much freaking hit gear. I bet we hit harder than a level 60 anyway. I am pretty sure if you put your mind to it, you can kill him too. There is 2 neutral quests that you can get in LBRS. You gotta go to this location in Burning Steps. There is a guy called Kibler, you gotta talk to that guy, he's gonna give you a couple quests, that's like his job. There is another quest for the Alliance in the Alliance flight path in Burning Steps that you can pick up, and the Horde can pick up 2 quests in Kargat from this place too. One of them being Warlord's Command, very important that one. Warlord's Command is the start of the Onyxia attunement for the Horde, and you really wanna sort that one out now. I took a good look in the data mine loot in LBRS, guys, and I gotta say that it retained its original vanilla identity. And by that I mean that all the loot in LBRS is a steaming pile of crap and it is useless. So if you wanna farm that stupid key, there is pretty much nothing else you can get here, so you might as well do it now. At least you're gonna get XP for it. If you are the luckiest boy on earth, you may be able to scrounge up an Uber's key and you may be able to get in. Keep in mind, you don't need the key yourself to get into Ubers. If somebody else has it, you can get in, but at launch, nobody's gonna have it, so you better get it yourself if you actually wanna farm it early on. And that's really important for 2 things. First of all, Ubers is the attunement for Onyxia in the Horde, and God bless your soul, you wanna be done with that as soon as possible, because talking to Rexar is gonna take you like an eternity to find that guy. Well, that or some warlock is selling the stupid summons to that place, I don't know. If I find one, I'm paying for it, screw it, finding that guy takes forever. Also, most of your pre-raid vesting slot as a melee is in Ubers. There is also a lot of caster gear in there. There was a lot of useless melee items in Ubers that had like crit or something, and they just made it so it's crit for spells and melee, and it just so happens that they turn into amazing stat sticks if you're a caster. So there is if you don't have a lot of Sunken Temple gear in particular, there is a lot of reasons to be here. Of course, Ubers is melee bonanza. We're talking Dalrens, we're talking Fell Striker, we're talking all sorts of hit gear, of course. There is also the Band of Rumination. They made it even better, so that was already the pre-raid vesting slot for healers, and it now is better, it has more spell power on it. There is a rare drop, the Black Blade of Shahram. It got like a new buff on it, so now it is a lot slower, so it is gonna be really good for warriors if you wanna take such a thing. It's pretty cool. I love Ubers. I think Ubers is the high point of vanilla. It is the right amount of easy but hard. It's like, yes, 5 people are gonna die, but you can clear with 5 people and 5 people dead. There is 2 quests you can get here too. Of course, the Onyxia attunement quest, we're not gonna count for that. You should be on it by now. The Alliance can get Doomrigger's Clasp in this part of Burning Steps, and the Horde can get the Darkstone Tablet in Kargat. However, if you cannot make it to Ubers and you don't wanna farm LBRS for the key, we got one more choice, and that is Stratholm. You see almost all the mobs in Stratholm until you get to the last gate. They are like level 57 or 58. They hit like hell, but hey, this is Season of Retail. We hit like hell. I think with a good group, this will be the best one too, because you can get like every class with a good AoE, and you can get like some crowd control on them, and you can just pull them. There is actually 3 quests you can get in here. They are all in the chapel in Eastern Plaguelands, and it's just a matter of going around and picking all of them up. There is the Grimm's Tobacco quest. It used to be Frasiavis quest, you know, but they took that guy away from the name of the things because he touched a lot of things that he shouldn't touch. You may also wonder why we are not going to Scholomance. Well, first of all, it takes quite a lengthy quest to even get to Scholomance. You gotta get that stupid key, and also that's gonna be a 10-man, and the problem with a 10-man is that the experience is pretty much nothing, so it's gonna suck for leveling. So I would say my Scholomance farm for level 62. There is never gonna be a shortage of level 60 in Scholomance because people wanna get those stupid runes. You're gonna be fine. But alas, this should get you to level 60 by just doing dungeons, and provided whatever Agrand puts in Burning Steps isn't too broken, this is probably how I'm gonna level to 62. Phase 4 is coming at 4 PM EST today, so subscribe to your boy, we're gonna be streaming it, and please don't call me gay.